All right, welcome back to the one, the only, the Sammy's and Turkey podcast. With me, as always, is Tommy Gobbler, the man, the myth, the legend.
I'm actually the Christmas turkey.
A Christmas turkey. So what's the difference between a regular turkey and a Christmas turkey?
Don't you eat turkey on Christmas?
No.
Really?
Nope.
We just recently started doing prime rib, but for, I'd say, 28 years we did turkey on Thanksgiving and turkey on Christmas. And it was just because I can always eat turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy. Fuck. So...
Which I get, I don't know, turkey is about enough for me when it comes to Thanksgiving.
Really?
Like, I don't mind turkey, but it's not like the best food in the whole wide world.
I do it 3 times a year.
Yeah. How many times a year do you eat chicken and beef?
A lot. I eat ground turkey. I ate a lot of ground turkey, actually.
Oh,
I'll replace it for stuff.
Gross.
I just refuse to replace it for a burger. If I'm eating a burger, it's gonna be a fucking cheeseburger with like beef.
So what do you name recipes that you've replaced it in and liked?
So I did spaghetti with it. It was good. I've eaten it before again since then. It's like, but I think
how many times?
I'd say about 1/5 of the times I do it with turkey. I'll do this protein bowl where it's cilantro lime rice or just regular white rice, and then ground turkey made with the turkey gravy, the package. So it's just like a ground turkey with gravy, and I'll throw that on the bowl of rice. I'll do that at least once every 2 weeks. It's just a lot of protein. The meat's super fucking cheap. And
that's because it's gross.
It's really good. It's a fucking bird. It's delicious. I'll eat the fuck out of it. It's meat. And it's cheap. I've done turkey tacos, which was not that great.
I was going to say, because I've done like ground turkey barbecues. And those aren't very good.
No, they're... Some stuff, turkey, you just got to know what you're working with and know that it's not as versatile as everyone thinks it is.
It's not a replace.
No, it's good if you do it right in its own way, but if you don't, you're fucked. But it's a good high protein meal, so I eat it.
Oh yeah, I get it's a good high protein meal. It's just it's not the substitute that.
No.
And it's not chicken either. Like
no, it's not.
It's
its own thing. I'll get a small turkey and do that with like gravy, like a turkey a la king. I'll do that a lot too.
You know what's a weird thing though? You never hear about people eating turkey eggs. Like,
hey Siri,
quail eggs?
Where can I find turkey eggs?
Like, there's no turkey eggs out there.
There's a ton of turkey eggs, apparently, according to Siri.
Are they just not good? Like, why are we not eating more turkey eggs?
They could not be as good. I mean, because like if you think of duck eggs, it's really close to a chicken, and it's not great. Ooh, they're really expensive. Oh, but these are to hatch turkeys with. They're fertilized eggs.
Oh yeah, that's somebody had to jerk a rooster off for that. So
yeah, why don't we eat turkey eggs? And the answer is nobody knows.
I mean,
it's about double the size of a chicken egg. Maybe they don't lay... Well, I bet you what it is that they don't lay eggs as often as chickens do. Chickens will lay eggs sometimes several times a day. And I bet you turkeys don't. Because I know ducks don't. So that's probably... It's a bigger bird, so it only lays an egg a certain amount of time. Maybe it's like once a week,
But if you're getting, twice the egg,
Oh, you can get an ostrich egg. It's like 4 dozen. Apparently it tastes really good, too. Very velvety. Very velvety.
Very what?
Velvety.
Velvety?
Yeah.
I don't know how that tastes.
We should eat an ostrich egg together.
Yeah, sure.
Are you saying that because you know it won't happen?
Yep.
No, I have to. You're going to see me with just a box. It's a big-ass fucking egg. Like, come on, Matt, fire up the Blackstone. I don't even think the Blackstone's big enough to cook the ostrich egg.
A 36-inch? I bet it is.
It's pretty... Well, Arnold did eat it on his tank. He cooked it on his tank.
That makes sense. That seems like something Arnold would do.
Yeah, he didn't win as a politician, so he was like, fuck it, I'm just going to do whatever I want. Oh, okay, this thing's super hot. Breathe. All right, so anyways, welcome to the Sammy's and Beer Podcast. We're here to talk about absolutely nothing and absolutely everything all at once and all together. We really didn't discuss what we're going to be discussing today. Which
We did not.
Sometimes I like to fly by the seat of my pants. I do have some ideas to run by you. Some stuff that I want to talk to you about. But besides that we'll wing it and we'll figure it out. I'm not super stressed or worried about it. I do want to get into our shots because today is actually a cool day that I didn't know until I checked my Snapchat memories. And I know to you it might not be that cool, but I'm going to explain it here in a second. With me today is the Big Stick, which is a bourbon my girlfriend got me for Christmas. It has been super tasty, not too expensive, and it has a stick of the barrel in it to help impart those woodsy flavors. And it hasn't been too smoky, which is usually what I am afraid of for stuff like this. So that's what I'm drinking today.
Well, I'm drinking my last shot from my wife, and it's 99 peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, get some cranberry juice. Put it in there. It tastes like Uncrustable.
Yep.
You seem so happy, Matt. So happy.
Well, you're not the one taking a shot of 99 peanut butter,
That's
so.
fair. We'll be playing One Armed Burglar today, later also, in case you guys are interested. Oh yeah, it's free, and I will say, it's actually kind of good. Weirdly enough, it's kind of good.
All right.
So worth a shot at least. And then Pal World comes out at the end of next week on Game Pass. I'm really excited to try that one out with you as well.
All right.
Pokemon with guns, can't go wrong with that. Just, So did you want to go first, or you want me to go first? Mine's
You
a
can go
positive
first
one.
since you're all excited.
So January 11th is the day that I adopted my dog. So, and for a lot of people, it's like, that's kind of lame, and I get it. But I've never had a dog that was like mine. I've always had family dogs, and you've seen how he is. He's a great dog, and I've never had a dog like him before. So he deserves recognition. He had a little birthday cake with the dog food and the wet food and stuff today. It was very sweet. So here's to
It's not his birthday, though.
I know, but I don't know when his birthday is, so this is just how we're going to celebrate it.
You don't know when his birthday is?
I was looking at his paperwork. It didn't say. It said around January, so poetic.
What
enough.
kind of a dog father are you?
One that picked him up. Here's to Orion, my bubbies. I love him. Oh, the longer it sits with that stick, though, I feel like the stronger it gets.
Maybe you just had all the smokiness at the bottom.
I think so, because that one was real smoky.
Hello, the question giver. Welcome to the chat.
Your turn, my friend.
My shot, I think I probably do this every winter, but it annoys me still, as we just got a bunch of snow here in the north, and I have neighbors who have it snowed last weekend, and people who have still yet to shovel
I bet you.
or snowblow their driveway. The only thing that they've done is when this guy, walked down and did all the snow blowing.
For the sidewalks.
So, for the sidewalks, yep.
That's really
Just
nice
because
of you.
I've got an 83-year-old neighbor, I try to do hers, and it takes me an extra 5 minutes to go all the way down to the corner. I do 3 houses, it takes me a total of 15 minutes. So, fucking shovel your shit. Don't be a lazy bum.
Yeah. Be
Go
like
fuck yourself.
Matt. Use a snowblower. See, and I hate doing shots out of those little bottles because it takes forever for it to get down there.
Whew.
Is our viewer a robot?
Maybe. I don't know. Their name is the question giver.
Maybe they're gonna give a great question.
I hope so.
I hope it's.
I don't
something
have my garbage to throw that away in. My son is using it to vomit in.
Oh, here you go.
Nope. No robots here, pal. Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to something that. So, just to give, and we should do this honestly pretty frequently, but just to give the question giver, maker person a little just about. We really don't do this for popularity or for the views. We do this to have like a video archive of the conversations we have with each other and to see how our personalities change and grow and differ. It's for me specifically. I'm doing a lot of growth and I can feel it. And I've noticed it, and my girlfriend's noticed it. So it's really cool. Have an old man to ask questions. Matt's like in his 70s, something like that. Super fucking old.
I didn't know that's why we did this. I thought we were doing it to try and make money. So I'm totally way off base
You're
here.
so off base. We haven't made a single fucking dime this entire time. Not a single penny.
Well, yeah, everything good takes time. We got to get noticed.
Somebody call Mr. Beast. Somebody call him right now.
The question giver says we're not going to make any money from this, pal.
That's fine. I wasn't trying to.
No, I don't blame him. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay me to do this.
So the big thing, not the big thing, but something I want to talk to you about is we haven't fucking played D&D in a while.
Correct.
And I completely forgot where we left off. And I was winging it the whole time anyways.
Yeah.
So I actually wrote it all down, and I'm making a new campaign. I've got some cool ideas for it. I'm doing some stuff. Would you be interested, and do you know anyone who would want to do it as well?
Maybe. Hard maybe.
Hard maybe. Hard maybe for the somebody, or hard maybe to play?
Hard maybe for the somebody. Obviously, I'm going to play. I mean,
I figured.
even though it's not like my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world, I try to be a good friend and support, and I do have fun with it. Like, that was probably the most creative I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
And it was super fun. And thank you so much for the follow, the question giver. We appreciate
Thanks,
you.
buddy. I'm going to go real simple with it, because every other time I keep adding all this shit, doing all this shit, I've got a really good premise. I'm going to make it really simple, and there's a timeline.
I'm gonna probably get. So, the one thing that I've learned about D&D is a lot of people like to get weird sexually with it, and I don't want to do that kind of stuff.
They really
but
do.
I'm gonna try and get kind of weird with it and come up with some really creative and stupid things. I might just try to ruin your mind while we do it.
You can so the main quest you can absolutely fail.
Okay,
So
that won't bother me.
yeah. Just to throw it out there, the story is, and it's like a 2-sentence story. There was an incursion from dimensional beings that came to Earth, and they killed everyone that was strong, and they left their survivors, and they'll be back in a year to finish the job. You don't know why they left, you don't know why they came. They basically killed every NPC that is like above level 3, right? They fucking wiped them all out. You and your party are literally the only ones left from the Adventure Society. You're all level 3, and you have a year to prepare for the incursion.
Interesting.
Simple.
Yeah.
And
The question giver says that they role play as a fire knight named Ducklington, and he's a duck, but they don't play D&D.
I love that. Oh.
I don't know. I'm just really curious as to when they role play as Ducklington.
Is he a furry? Is that why he's watching? Because he saw this and he's a furry?
Ooh, very well could be.
Ooh, am I reaching
Very
a broader
well could
audience?
Yeah,
It,
I mean,
it does have a flap. It does.
that's TMI.
It helps me go pee.
Yeah. Did you ever have well, you lived in Nebraska. Did you ever have the long underwear with the butt flap?
The long johns? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah. I think I still do. I take them hunting. Sometimes you need them. Military issues.
You take them hunting?
Yeah.
We've known each other a long time. Never once have you said, "Hey, I can't do that this weekend. I'm going hunting."
I haven't hunted in 4 years, I think. I haven't been hunting in 4 years. The land we used to hunt on is no longer like in the family, so and hunting is very expensive to like lease land. Been a while. I'd go with my dad. It was like a thing that we did, which is super funny because my dad didn't like it, but he liked going out to the cabin, getting drunk, and eating barbecue all day. So
Well, who doesn't like that?
Yeah. So he showed me the ropes. My dad's very proficient with firearms. He showed me how to properly kill a deer and
You're
everything.
Shouldn't you be proficient with firearms?
Yeah, but they don't teach you how to use a fucking like a long rifle. They teach you how to use an M16 and an M9. They don't teach you how to use a fucking sniper. I'm not an American sniper, dude. What are you looking at me like that for?
How much harder is that?
Nah.
How much harder do you think it is
Okay.
to shoot a long rifle versus an M16?
It's easier, and also he taught me before I joined. I've been doing this since I was a teenager. I think 16, 17.
I mean, I started hunting when I was like 9.
I wish. God,
I didn't get to shoot anything, but we had to go along. You couldn't. I think you had to take hunter safety at 12.
Yeah.
And then
I want to be like that for my kids one day. But
yeah.
And then my
I don't know.
uncle, who owned the land, showed me how to field dress a doe that I got. My first kill.
How did you like doing that?
I loved it.
I was shooting your first deer. Oh, you enjoyed field dressing and shooting it and everything?
Yeah,
Okay.
I had a good time. The only part that sucked was like dragging it to the mile and a half to the gator to get to camp. Besides that, like that bitch was heavy. But yeah, I think I got its lung. It wasn't a great shot, but it was like okay.
That's a good shot. That's a vital organ.
I thought the heart was like
You're aiming for vital organs, like.
okay. But yeah,
So
it was a good time. We ate that jerky. We had the backstrap. We took the backstrap and we marinated in teriyaki sauce and had that the next day. Like, and then we took everything else to be processed. It's like
deer stick, because that's like the only thing that deer's good for.
deer what?
Sticks?
Like jerky?
No, like like sausage, like the sticks.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I like eating deer. You eat the deer when we make it for the beef stew.
Yeah, when you coat it with a ton of other stuff, so you don't really taste how gamey it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't make a roast out of it.
No. Oh.
No, deer. Question giver, deer is not good. It's protein if you need meat, but like you're not going to make a roast out of it. You're not going to ground it up into hamburger. You're going to make sticks out of it, and
Maybe some
the backstraps
sausage.
are good.
Backstrap is delicious.
Maybe some chislic, but I even think chislic would be really gamey.
I don't even know what chislic is.
Chislic? Oh, that's a Midwest thing. Chislic is where you take it, traditionally made with lamb, and you cut it into small chunks and then deep fry it for like 60 seconds. Not even that long, probably 30 seconds. And then you put garlic salt on top of it. So fucking good.
I'm down. I'm down.
It's so good.
Also, Texas is going to shut down Monday.
We're shutting down tomorrow and Saturday.
But you guys won't lose power, right?
No,
We will.
we're not sissies. We're smart and we bury our power lines under the ground so that way we don't have the issues like that.
We'll lose power. We'll lose power Monday, Tuesday. 100%. I gotta go. I'm gonna have to go across town and get my sister's cats so they don't freeze to death.
They're cats and they have fur in a house. How are they gonna freeze to death?
Because it's my sister and she wants me to stay there. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
God, you get.
It's fine. I'll get the cats, put them in my room. I like cats, so.
I don't know how you guys survive in Texas down there.
I survived in the Midwest.
One snowstorm and you guys act like it's like not even a snowstorm. You're getting cold.
It's
And you
just
act like it's
because
the end of the world.
the loss of power. So many things you rely on for power.
You rely on everything for power, but if it's happened how many times in the last couple years?
I think this is the third time in a row.
So how is nobody prepared for it?
I am prepared for it. I've got wood. I've got butane burners and fucking 10 fucking propane tanks so I can cook. I'm ready.
You're gonna kill yourself.
Outside. It's not that
Okay.
cold. It's like 20 degrees. I have all my winter shit from Nebraska. It's not that fucking cold. Like,
Okay. Well, you never know. You never know with people.
I guess that's fair. I mean, we're fine, but it's just the being without power that sucks, you know.
Yeah.
besides that, I mean, who cares?
Why you guys haven't gotten like solar or something?
It's never worth the investment to get solar. It's like by the time you've paid off the panels, you have to replace them. Because you got to replace them every like 8 years, I think. So it's never actually worth the investment.
Or a generator?
We have one.
Oh, you got a backup generator for your house?
For the RV.
Oh, well, that's a different generator.
Which is in the driveway. So if it gets really bad, we could pile everyone into the RV, and I mean, good, pretty much. The only
Is it an RV or a camper?
camper?
Okay.
It's a fifth wheel.
Okay. Yeah, that's a camper.
Okay.
An RV is like a motorhome. Is in my wording, knowledge, terminology. An RV is something that you can drive. A camper is something you pull.
Okay.
That's just how I've always distinguished between them.
I mean, I could do that. It's just all right. Never heard of it like that, but if that makes you happy. Oh my god, this thing's so hot.
Yeah, it's fucking made out of artificial turkey
It's
feathers.
made out of real turkey feathers. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, what's up, Matt? What's going on? You okay, buddy?
I mean, I'm dealing with all the fun stuff,
Oh, I believe it.
you know.
Oh, I know.
So it's an interesting process, estates and all that stuff. And you want to know something real funny is so my grandparents passed away, and we're, going through the process of getting their estates because both of them are now gone, and, everything goes into a trust, which they had set up. And the neighbor is like, the first day we went over there after the funeral, he messages me. Or no, he called me. Like, I hadn't been at the house 5 minutes. And he calls me and he's like, hey, I hope this isn't too soon, but, we didn't know what you guys were going to be doing with your grandpa's house. I'm like, well, it's probably going to get sold. I mean, none of us want to live here.
Fair.
Not that it's not a nice house, but I mean, they lived there like 3 years, and it's, a townhouse with a bunch of other old people around.
Yeah.
And like no yard. And and he's like, oh, okay, well, one of the neighbors and this guy might have his nephew that might be interested in buying it. Like, cool. We're 2 days post funeral.
Yeah.
Like, we're just coming over here to write fucking thank you cards and use his address book to write,
Which is such a weird prospect that you have to thank everyone for coming to a funeral.
We didn't.
Oh,
we
okay.
only thanked the people who sent money
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay.
or sent a gift or something like that. Which some of them were really nice and put like a return label or something with your address. Some of them wrote very odd things that you can't get a thank you card for. Like, my grandpa worked at a golf course, so one of them put the 604 Wednesday tea time girls. Guess who didn't get a thank you card? The people who we have no idea who they
Who
are.
these motherfuckers are. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
guess your grandpa was a little popular with them tea time girls, though.
I tell you what, it was really cool to see how many people from the golf course came out.
Well, he'd been a part of that community for a long time, right?
Well, he grew up on a golf course, and then, obviously had to his dad was a head greenskeeper at a little local city golf course. And so he worked there until he was old enough to get married and get a real job. And then, not a real job, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of a real job. I mean, but, and then he went and, was in the military and, did a bunch of other stuff. And then went back to it after he retired and got a part-time job. And, he'd been out there 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, he had a big impact on that community. But, long story long, this guy, we then went over there. I have a realtor friend who we need to get an appraisal on the house just to see what the house is worth, because if this guy wants to buy it, that's cool. We won't get a realtor involved. But we need to know what the house is worth because they've only had it for 3-4 years. I don't know what it's worth. It's worth more than what they paid to build it. And so I stopped over there yesterday I have a friend who's a real estate agent, and I hadn't been there 10 minutes, and I got a text message from him asking basically the same thing. I'm like, oh, we don't want to get a realtor involved if we don't have to, and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, we also need to know what the fucking house is worth, because, I mean, like, I'm not going to just let you steal this house from, so somebody's nephew can get a good deal. Like, so.
Get a realtor involved. That's like people who you get in a car accident and they're like, oh, we don't need to call the cops. We can just trade insurance, like trade phone numbers. Like, no, calling the cops. We're gonna write this shit.
Unless it's in a parking lot, then you don't have to.
No.
The cops. It's on private property. The cops can't do anything.
Oh, I didn't know that. But I haven't been in a lot of car accidents.
They won't determine fault or anything like that. They say exchange insurances, deuces.
All right, good to know. Yeah, that all that stuff I don't know anything about. So I'm definitely going to call you when that time comes for me.
I don't know anything about it. Luckily, my brother's dealing with a lot of it. I mean, he's the executor, so.
He's the oldest, right?
Yep. Yeah. He's 3 years older than me.
Same for my brother. Same age gap.
Yep. So
still
it's. Shitty. Yeah, I don't know. We've definitely spoken way more now because we have, like I said, co-parenting and, a lot more stuff to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot too.
It is. It definitely is. I have an aunt, just so everybody knows, I have an aunt with special needs. She lives kind of on her own, but requires a lot of help and attention. On Monday, they canceled school, and she was supposed to start her new volunteer position at the church. And so she walks over there because her apartment is literally a stone's throw from the church.
Which is smart.
She just moved into this apartment. I mean, it was a good move on my grandpa's part to get her over there. Well, she didn't wear her snow boots, and she fell in the parking lot. I'm like, so I was talking to her today, and I'm like, all right, well, there's a new rule. From now on, if school is canceled, I'm going to call you, and you're not going to volunteer on that day.
Did she get hurt?
And she said she hurt her butt and back, and she's a little bruised up. I mean, I didn't, inspect it or anything, but she was walking fine and everything, so.
Okay.
But, I mean, she's 55 years old, and she keeps us entertained, let's say that. She's got her fun hobbies that she likes to do. She likes to make jewelry.
Oh, that's nice.
So she likes to go to Hobby Lobby and get beads and stuff like that. And me and my brother, kind of for the winter, because she likes to go there. In the summer and spring and stuff, she can walk. But when it gets cold like this, it's not good for her to be walking over there. And it's within a mile of her house. But so my brother said, well, why don't we take turns? I'll take her 1 week, you take her the next week, and we'll go get groceries and go to Hobby Lobby or wherever she wants to go.
Do the whole shebang.
Yep, do it all. And so my brother did it for the first time yesterday, and took her to Hobby Lobby first, and she was excited, and she's like, well, are you going to come in? My brother's like, nope. She's like, oh, you don't want to go to Hobby Lobby? He's like, no, I have zero desire to go to Hobby Lobby. And believe it or not, my brother is much more crass than I am.
Damn.
And very no nonsense. I mean, and my wife was like, I told my wife about it, and she goes, well, if you take her, are you gonna go into Hobby Lobby with her? And I was like, there's one person that I signed up to go to Hobby Lobby with, and it wasn't her, unfortunately. So I will sit in my car and listen to music or do something else. I'm not going into Hobby Lobby. I'll sit in the car for an hour to 2 hours. I don't care, however long she wants to be in there.
Which is, I mean, just the fact that you're still doing it. Because I've seen a lot of cases exactly like this where no one takes care of them. And then they get put in the system and they get lost in the system. And which actually, and I'm not going to use specifics or anything, but I know someone who has a daughter with a very similar disability. I think her mentality is like that of a 9-year-old. And she was living in a group home, and she got pregnant.
Ooh,
So
that's tough.
it's and now she's with them now, because of everything that
With
happened.
child.
Well, she's older. She's in her 40s now. She had the kid. The kid's in elementary school. He actually doesn't have any deficit, so it's like a very Forrest Gump situation. Sorry.
Sorry, just really caught me off guard there. It took me a second. My brain buffered to get like the Forrest Gump situation. And I was like, oh.
She's a nice lady. But
And all I can think of now is Tom Hanks. Is he like me?
but yeah, so
Forrest, he's so smart.
She lives with them, and it's a lot. I see it. It's basically just a kid that can't grow up. It sucks.
Well, and that's a lot of questions that I have. Like, some of the things that she does do, like, they're interesting.
It's just what she likes.
Well, not even that, but like just some of the decision processes and stuff she makes. Like she fell in the snow, and then she went to go get groceries with my brother yesterday, and she walked, like he parked and then walked in with her because he had to pay for her groceries or give her a way to pay for the groceries.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went back out to the truck so she could do her grocery shopping. And so she knew where he parked. She walked out the other door from the grocery store and then started walking the opposite direction to his truck. So he got out to go get her and couldn't find her.
Okay.
And then came back another way, and my brother said he saw her, and she was taking the grocery cart and lifting it up onto the curb, like out of the way. And he's like, "You've fallen once. Why are we lifting grocery carts up?"
But she doesn't have those thought processes, probably.
Yeah, and so it's I'm not used to managing somebody like that, so it's very new, and
it's gonna be frustrating.
Oh, and I know, like, my grandpa got he was very frustrated with it at the end.
Well, yeah.
And I don't want to get that way because I don't want her to feel like she's a burden on us, which is hard.
She is and she isn't. It could always be worse. It could quite literally always be worse. She could need supervision 24/7. Like, it could be a lot worse. But it's still, you basically did just get another kid for the rest of your life, like, or for the rest of her life.
The rest, yeah, she's 55, so
women live longer than men. You could die in your 80s and she's still fucking kicking.
Yeah,
it's very possible.
Very well could.
But there'll come a time where she'll need medical supervision and stuff like that, And I'm not going to say things get easier, but you have more help.
So
just let her rock out her golden years. She's in her golden years, dude. Let her make bracelets.
Yeah. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to restrict anybody on anything. I'm trying to help as much as I can.
So. You're doing a good job, and it's cool that you're doing it. Because, like I said, I've seen people just tell them to fuck off. It's crazy. Yeah. There's bad people out there. I have some really interesting news to tell you. I can't do it on the podcast.
I have a question I have to ask you, but I don't know if you want it on air. But with camping this year for my birthday, with your significant other possibly not being able to come, are you still going to come?
Do you know who said he'd come with me instead?
Bubbles.
Junior.
Oh, I thought Junior was coming anyway.
He's not sure. Did you know those cabins are fucking dirt cheap?
Not the camping spots.
Well, the cabins are $100 a night.
Yeah, so are the camping spots.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're saving no money.
But we did look at like an Airbnb, and like for the time we were out there, it'd be like $5,000.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
So it's just a super popular time to be out there.
Oh yeah,
and that's why they charge accordingly.
Yeah, I was happy to find out that it would cost me $800 to stay there because I'd do like 8 days. That's 4 days in Fredericksburg, maybe probably more like 3. Like the price difference is fucking crazy. The only thing's it can be expensive is the flight and then renting a car.
Well, and I was talking like you might, if you want to. I mean, it'd be a 4 or 5 hour drive, but if you fly into Sioux Falls, you can drive my wife's car
Oh,
out to Rapid.
I don't see why not.
So just throwing that out there.
That actually wouldn't be a bad idea. And then the smaller cabins are open the whole month still. Last I checked.
Okay. Okay. So, but I doubt people want to hear us plan our vacation.
Our vacation, our annual Sammy's and Beer vacation we do together.
Yes.
You're like,
So-
we're not best friends, so we don't just go on a camping trip every year together and play video games at least 3 times a week and talk every day and significant others are friends, whatever.
You have 2 best friends, and I can name them both. Actually, 3, and I can name all 3 of them right now
Do it.
in order.
What's the order? Has it changed? Do I have a tier
It
system?
has. It has.
I do have a tier
It's changed quite a bit in the last while.
It has. I have a tier system, but no one knows their spot in that tier.
Egg is number 1.
Is she?
Egg has become number 1. Yep, she really has.
I haven't talked
She's
to
on
her.
deployment.
I haven't talked to her in 2 weeks.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Egg's number 1 now. Julian has jumped to number 2. Gabe was number 1 for a long time, but Gabe has, I think, upset you as of recently because of his lack of communication.
Oh,
And so Gabe has dropped
how do you know you're not
to
number 1?
number 3. I'm not on the list.
You're on the
This
roster.
is the
You
Nope.
are.
This is your top 3.
We take a family
It's
trip together.
Egg. It's Egg, Julian, Gabe.
How do you know Bubbles isn't on the list?
He is, but Bubbles gets his own list. So because Bubbles doesn't get offended like the other 3 do.
Bubbles is like a fucking outdoor house cat, or a stray dog that you feed at a fucking.
He's
Dollar
very
General.
fair. He's very feral.
He's
No, he's a
super-
cat. He's not a dog.
Yeah, he's a
he's
cat.
not a dog because he is zero loyal. Like
He's loyal.
He's loyal as long as he's around. He's a feral cat.
That motherfucker's so loyal. He flew down to Texas. I did pay for it, but he flew down to Texas to help me move once. That's how fucking
paid for it.
I paid, but he still had to come to Texas literally just to help me move and drive to Nebraska.
He got a free trip out of it.
That's a free trip in a plane and a car. We didn't really get to go do much because we needed to make good time. But that's a fucking friend. And
Yeah,
I did
I'm not saying
I did the same for Gabe.
feral cats can be the best friend. They'll protect people in their moments of
They
need.
will. I've seen that.
They'll show up out of nowhere and fucking whoop a coyote's ass,
I've seen that. Yes.
and then they're gone again.
And they just poof.
And you're like, where the fuck did that happen? What happened? What just happened?
I flew up to California to help Gabe move. If you asked me to help you do a long move,
See?
I'd fly to you. I'd do it.
See, that was back when Gabe was at number 1. Gabe has fallen a lot.
He actually was at number 2. That trip put him in number 1.
Yeah, I know.
But you
Well,
can't
there.
blame a man because he's starting his own life, right? Like he's
I'm
doing
zero
his own
blaming.
thing. Like
I'm zero blaming for anybody. I'm just telling you where they fall on the roster right now.
if you think that's where they fall on the roster,
No, I know.
you think.
I know.
Am we missing anybody? I don't think so. I think that's just about everything. Daniel's, he's a really good friend, but I don't think he's on the list. I don't talk to Daniel all the time, but I do love Daniel. Don't get me wrong.
What about Kay? Why is Kay not one of your BFFs?
She honestly is. I could text her about anything and she'll give me like an honest answer.
Yeah.
Kay's like a sibling. Now that I think about it, like the way our relationship is very much the way my relationship with my sister is.
Did you just call Kay a redheaded stepchild?
She kind of is. She kind of fucking is. Now that I'm really thinking about it, yeah. Man, we have a really interesting gaggle of friends, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. I'm actually thinking about adding a new person.
You haven't done that in a while, and the last one that you added was a big fucking flopperooski.
The last few we've tried out people. They've been pretty big flops.
I don't remember.
We've
Yeah.
tried out a few people.
Which few have we tried that have flopped?
One of yours.
One of mine. He is. We're not sportsy enough for him. Wait, which one of mine are you talking about?
The one that's really good at Rocket League.
Oh, he didn't make Scooby Snacks.
No,
he didn't make
no,
the Circle
yeah,
of Friends.
No, but we haven't kicked anyone from the Circle of Friends, the Circle of Trust.
Like, yeah, well, but like I'm saying, when you become friends, like when somebody makes it, they get into Scooby Snacks.
yeah, that's fair. And that's fair.
That person did not make Scooby Snacks.
We're gonna give her a chance outside of Scooby Snacks. She's a weird one. My new one.
Which one?
She's a
I fucking forgot about her.
the one in
I completely forgot about her.
the one in my AE chat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Adolf Shitler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because I spent some time with her this last drill, and she opened up, came out of her shell a little more. She's weird, but she could be interesting. So I'm gonna test it out a couple more times.
I fucking love weird.
When I met her,
But there's like cool weird, like you're unique. There's unique and there's weird.
Yeah.
I like unique. Don't like weird.
I don't know what line she's gonna walk.
Because weird people like fucking I think that's more unique. I was gonna say weird people like stick butt plugs with tails on them up their butts, but if you had a girl that stuck a butt plug with a tail on it and then walked around in a skirt, I'd be like, that's fucking weird, but I don't mind it so much.
That's not as bad. No, how much you mind it is how it's dictated by how hot she is.
No, not really.
Okay. No, and we'll give her a shot later, eventually. She seems cool, but you don't really know until you spend a lot more time with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, she plays games. That's my big thing. She plays games.
I will say it's been weird, like adding people. Like we haven't really added people to the group, and people have fallen off. You know, I mean, obviously, COVID was a really strong time for a lot of people to be playing video games and getting into that social aspect. But a lot of people have gone away from it, and I don't know if they'll get back into it. You know,
That's true. I think some will. I think it's going to come like this, just like everything else, right?
Yeah.
And I know. I'll tell you that. There's going to become a point in my life, hopefully real soon, where I'll be able to have more time to do the thing, my hobbies, you know, do my own thing that I want to do. I'm actually super excited for the future.
Like what?
So I really want to get into making meads and wines. I want to be that guy. I don't want to pickle. I don't want to do that. I want to make like fruit wines, because I tasted a buddy of mine's strawberry wine. It was fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Just like fruit juice, essentially. So there's stuff like that I want to do. I want to be more hands-on. I want to be more of a handyman. I know all the stuff I know how to do. I know how to do really well, but there's just a lot that I don't know how to do. Right. I want to be an expert, but I do want to just have the opportunity to do it.
Like what?
Okay, say one of my light switches goes out. I have absolutely zero idea how to replace that.
That's like a 3-minute YouTube video.
But exactly. But those are just skills and things that I want to learn. The easy early concepts, easy early electrician things, like cutting cables, stripping cables, and knowing what cable goes where, which one's ground, which one's not. Like, what do I do? I really don't know. I know plumbing really well. That's about it.
That's because you're always blowing up toilets.
Oh, you have no idea. But my grandfather was a plumber for like 50 years, and I got to go.
My
with
brother
him to
owns a
jobs.
plumbing company.
Does he? That's kind of cool.
He does.
There's a lot of money in that now. Come to find out.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in a lot of things.
That's true. Because I feel confident in my abilities as a medical professional. I'm really happy. I like my job. But now I want to do things. I'm making decent money. Now I want to do things that are going to improve me as a person. And then I want to do things that I like having fun doing, like playing Dungeons and Dragons. I like it. It's fun. I want to get a little more into it. Make my own.
You know that I used to be an electrician, right?
I do. That's why I brought it up.
Okay. Oh, I was like, I don't know if he's being just fucking weird with this or
No.
But yeah, no.
I know.
Okay.
But those are skills you have, right? Like,
Mhm.
I want to be like that. If something breaks in my house, I want to be able to fix it.
You just fucking YouTube shit as you go. It's really easy. The biggest thing is having the tools, just having a specific set of tools that you can do shit with, which is mainly like some crescent wrenches, some sockets, a drill, and a bunch of different bits for the drill.
I have that.
And fucking you'll be good.
I have all that.
As long as you have that shit, you can fix anything in your house.
Okay.
Anything.
Well, I think I can. I just got to remember to turn off the power first, right? It's a big.
You don't even. Fuck you. Quit being a pussy. It's fucking 110. It's gonna fucking give you a little zip and away you go.
All it takes is a little zip.
No, it's not.
I've seen it.
No, you haven't seen somebody die from 110.
No, I did have that patient that got struck by lightning once, though. That was really interesting.
That's a lot more than fucking 110.
That was really cool. He fucking died. He was dead as shit. Like,
I've been hit by 277, which you have no idea what that means. But so your
I'd
house,
like to know.
your house is run on 110 and 220. So 110 is where you've got a hot, a neutral, and a ground. And that's like what all your outlets, lights, that's what goes into a house. You can make it 220 where you have two hots. It's usually how it comes in. There's two hot legs and then a ground. Usually that's just for motors,
Are
though.
each hot leg 110 and they combine to make 220?
Yes. Yes. So then there's also 277 and 480, which is a higher voltage. But like when you go into like commercial buildings, a lot of times they'll run their lighting off of that. You're not going to find it generally in a residential neighborhood.
What about hertz?
What about hertz?
What is hertz?
I don't know.
So here's a little tidbit into my job. Aircraft power is typically ran on 400 hertz, 115.
Do you know why that is?
No.
Because it's the difference between an AC and a DC.
Do you know what DC stands for?
Alternating current or direct current.
Alternating current or don't care. Because we can't plug in a DC power on the aircraft. So literally my instructor told me DC stands for don't care. If you see DC, don't use it. So we had this, they run on 400 hertz. I think it's 115 volts.
115, 110 is the same thing.
Oh, perfect. And so we actually have to install a frequency converter that converts it to like a household power, which is 60 hertz.
Yeah.
To be able to plug our stuff in. It's like a whole thing. It's all part of my job that they taught me, and I get it fundamentally a little bit, but I really don't understand everything else that applies to it. Like, it's just wizard magic to me.
And it's not. It's just how, like when you see power lines are higher than 277, 480. Like they're like 5,000 or, they're just, it's easier to transfer it a long ways. And then they have a transformer that breaks it down into lower voltage.
That makes sense. Why it's called a transformer. Okay.
Yeah, it transforms it either higher or lower. And it can go both ways. Like you can transform stuff up and you can transform stuff down. And then amperage is basically just
the amount of power that it puts out.
The amount of energy that comes out. And so it has to, like, the more amperage it takes, the thicker the wire has to be, because the more amperage it can get hotter. And so it takes more wire so it doesn't get too hot where it causes a fire.
So fun.
And that's why, like, a breaker is a 20 amp. You're not going to put a 20 amp wire onto a 50 amp breaker because it would cause a fire.
Yes. Fun COVID fact, fun flight medic fact. I have to have all the amperage calculations memorized for my flight, right? Because every piece of equipment takes a certain amount of power. I obviously can't overdo it, right? And we have two different power systems on several aircrafts. So, like, I can pull 20 amps from the left side, 20 amps from the right side using frequency converters. Then there's household plugs that I can pull 30 amps from. Like, I just have to have all that memorized, right? The C-17. I have all that memorized. During COVID, we used something called the TIS. And it was like basically an isolation room, and I had to calculate using our equipment, using like all the different stuff. If it took fucking forever, but I got it down, and we were just flying barely. But it's a little bit of electrical knowledge that I gathered. There's a lot of the fundamental stuff that I don't get. They just teach me this is what you do. Well,
and the funny part is like so if you run like a 20 amp breaker in your house, you can't actually use 20 amps. You can only use 80% of it. So you can actually only use 16 amps on that 20 amp breaker before it trips.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that either.
So,
Which is kind of crazy because all the stuff plugged in should be taking quite a bit of amperage to.
with modern technology and lights nowadays, none of your stuff takes anything.
Oh. All right. Okay. I guess.
Like, most houses, every bedroom in your house is on the same fucking circuit.
Damn. I guess what I'm used to is medical equipment that has to be able to charge an electrical shock to resuscitate. So that takes quite a bit of power. And that's what we have to calculate. We have to calculate for the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Not it running on like 0.2 or 0.4.
Yeah, you don't. You're not worried about running average. You got to worry about
The bad days.
yeah,
Yeah.
when shit hits the fan.
It happens. And
It does.
I mean, when it does, like, it's such a weird concept to talk about. And I'm sure other people have experienced it in different ways. Even athletes are like, oh, it's called, like, the flow state or whatever. When, like, someone's crashing in front of me, I always thought, oh, your training will kick in was, like, the stupidest thing I've ever heard until my training kicked in. And, like, everything else just kind of, like, gets super fuzzy and there's, like, a noise in my ears. And I'm just focused on this one thing. It's really cool. Hours go by without me even noticing, like. But, like, my only objective is to try to keep this motherfucker alive for as long as possible.
Yeah.
It's really cool. It's fun. It's a rush, especially when you're done in that come down. Ooh, that's something, you know.
Yeah, when you're focused on something for so long and then you have to
Come back to reality.
yeah.
Send your girlfriend a text asking what she wants for dinner tomorrow, like.
I don't know why. That's one of the fucking when I'm up in the morning and I feel bad because I fucking snap at my wife almost daily about it. She's like, "Do you want to do this for supper tonight?" I'm like, "It's fucking 7:15 in the morning. I don't want to fucking do anything for supper tonight.
Oh,
I want to fucking not eat."
I think about that all the time. I will get to work
I don't.
and be like, what do you guys want for dinner? It's something I think about.
Maybe after I'm able to function for a little while, but like she wants to ask me like right away in the morning, and I'm like, I don't fucking know.
But you got to prep, because if you're going to use a crock pot, what do you have to get? Make sure you have the ingredients. Like,
we meal plan weekly
oh,
and then go grocery shopping for the meals.
it's really
So we
smart.
know all the meals that we have, and it's just a matter of which one are we going to make tonight.
Oh, well then, I mean, I guess, yeah, that's different then.
So then I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to think about this right now. Like I'm just trying to get my brain to
Turn on.
not be asleep anymore.
Because when I get to work, like we have to plan, because we need to go there in between calls to get the food to be able to cook it.
Yeah, I don't have to do that. Like I've got it all here.
That's fair. That's super fair. Which, by the way, one of the paramedics made a Greek bowl for us. And it was probably the most delicious thing I've eaten in a really long time.
Greek bowl?
Mm-hmm. I don't know how she cooked it specifically, but it was pork, like in long strips, and it was very acidic. I know she used vinegar and lemon juice at least, and like cilantro lime rice, and then like that cucumber salad with all the feta cheese and all that shit. It was fucking delicious. I had 3 servings of that shit.
Nice.
It broke me. I was so full, and I just kept going for it. It was delicious. So that's hitting our roster. She sent me the recipe. That's hitting
Nice.
the frequent flyer roster. That and hamburger helper.
We had been getting well, I don't. You ever get good gyros? Have you ever had a good gyro?
I've had a great gyro. I'm a personally, I love a kebab, a doner kebab, which is just the Turkish gyro, with the thinner bread, and different
I like
spices.
the thick fucking gyro bread.
It's basically a tortilla, but yeah,
It really is, but it's thicker.
it is. It's pretty thick. I can get why people
It's almost
like
like
that.
pita. but-
It is pita bread.
We used to get this gyro meat from fucking Costco, but it was so fucking expensive. Wish I could find a way to make gyro meat. Sure, there's
can. It's
recipes,
just a
but
marinade.
It looks super fucking long, and it's like but it's like layers of fucking meat on the fucking thing, and the marinade, and then you gotta have the rotisserie thing to fucking cook it.
Those are like $40 on Amazon right now.
Are they? Huh?
Because I've looked into
Because
it.
that's what I need. That's what I need is another fucking kitchen gadget to sit around in my fucking house.
It's a skewer, and you just stack the chicken thighs or chicken. It's usually chicken thighs because chicken breast doesn't make good Euro meat. It's too thick and dry. I guess maybe if you butterfly.
Chicken breast doesn't make anything fucking good.
I love chicken breast.
No, you love chicken thighs. You eat chicken breast.
I love chicken breast.
You love chicken thighs. You eat chicken breast.
Nope, I love chicken breast.
No, chicken breasts are fucking plain and boring.
They're not. If you season them and you make them thin, they're delicious.
Yeah. Would you rather have a breast or a thigh?
On what?
Anything.
For chicken tenders, I want breast.
You ever had a chicken thigh tender?
Yeah, they're good. They're not. I'd rather have a chicken breast.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
You're fucking lying.
I do.
You're lying.
On a
You're
fried
lying.
chicken sandwich,
You're
I'd take
lying
a
to
thigh.
stick to your own point.
Nope.
You're lying to get your own point.
I had to dig for the one thing that I would prefer breast for, and it's going to be that and our marinade. I marinate chicken breasts. I butterfly it, but I marinate it in Italian dressing and some other seasonings overnight, and then I grill it. That's super good, and I prefer chicken breast.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't want to. It's time to go. Time's up. Like, you're lying. I don't want to hear your lies anymore.
I'm not lying. I have to dig for it, but yeah. Because, well, think about this real quick. Chicken thighs are very fatty. That's why they're delicious. And with my stomach, if I eat a lot of fatty foods, I pay for it.
Yeah. What you just told me there is that you prefer breasts just because you don't shit yourself, not because they taste better.
They don't taste better. I'll tell you that right now.
Exactly.
They don't taste better.
There you go. Enough said. All right.
He wants to play video games.
I don't.
You
Go
do.
to bed. I'm just so upset about eyes and breasts. I'm done.
He wants to play video games. It's okay. I do too.
But it is 10 o'clock. At that time of the day, we're done looking at the room behind you. So, this another fantastic episode of The Question Giver. We appreciate you stopping by much. I wish you had more questions for us. We were ready to answer them, but you just gave us a lot of opinions, and there wasn't very many questions. The only question that he did ask was whether you were in the military or not, and I don't know if you can call the Chair Force military or not, so I didn't want to insult you, so that's where I went with
Kind
it.
of medium, to be honest with you.
That, and then he said he hunted, but he only hunts ants, so it wasn't even fucking funny. I don't want to make fun of our guests.
The MILF hunter. You should have said MILFs. That would have been funnier.
Yeah. So, but as always, this is the end of the Sammy's and Beer podcast. It has been a wonderful Thirsty Thursdays. We will actually be back on a different time this week. I believe we'll be here this Tuesday.
Is that what you decided? Okay.
I did, because my wife will be out of town starting Wednesday for a work meeting. So I don't like to get, out of control drunk like I like to do on the show with just me and no
Are you out of
adult
control
supervision. 100%. Like, I'm going to go puke after this. 2 shots of fucking...
Not even 40% alcohol. Those were like
Not
less.
even. No, one was 99. 44% alcohol. And the other one was Fireball. 49.5% alcohol. So fucking suck it. But we appreciate you all so much for stopping by. This has been another fantastic episode of the Sammy's a Beer podcast. If you do have any thoughts, opinions, concerns with the podcast, you can go ahead and feel free to reach out to Thomas Rincon on Facebook.
Mhm.
He'll be happy to answer all of your questions.
There's like 150 of them. Good fucking luck, dude.
So, Thomas, any final words for the general public before we say?
Just remember, Sundays are this Sunday is National Blowjob Sunday, so treat your significant other.
Thomas, if you have a dick in your mouth, you better spit it out. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We appreciate you all. This has been a fantastic Thursday with the Same as a Beer podcast. Toodles.
Bye.